Hello, and welcome back to the Big Bad Bike Show. I'm your host, Sam McCauley, and joining me tonight is the Up North biker, Ash Hall.
Hello.
And of course, as always, making a full set, it's Chris Chippy Ballard.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. As we're recording this, I believe it's the 6th of June. It's 8:30 at night. And if you're listening on YouTube, please give us a like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell everybody. If you're listening to Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you're listening, let us know. Send us a message, give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down if you don't like it. Just let us know you're listening, basically, because it's nice to know people are out there tuning in.
Certainly is.
Yeah, so we missed last week, didn't we? That's what happened.
We did.
Yeah, because nothing happened last week.
Well, you say nothing happened, but I was ready to start recording. But
yeah, but you can just
say
waffle.
ready to start. I say I was ready to start recording. I was willing to get involved in a recording, but you know, stuff got in the way, life got in the way. But
no excuse, really, is it? But there you go.
Well, we had planned to do it, we had planned to do it on maybe the Friday night, and then that didn't happen. And we said we could maybe do it on a Saturday night, and we wanted to do it on the Monday night. And the whole reason we couldn't do it in the first place was because Chippy was like, "Wow, I've got work."
As per usual.
So we had to change days. And then we picked a day, and I completely forgot it was my wedding anniversary until the 11th hour. And I was like, oh shit, it's my wedding anniversary, I can't record tonight.
Well done.
So I had to pull out last minute, and the podcast as well.
Did you go pick some dandelions outside and wrap them in some newspaper? They are, love.
That'll do, duck.
That'll do. Do you know what? I've never said duck.
You've never said that?
No.
You must have done. You're from Yorkshire.
Yeah, but no.
That's
not
a Yorkshire thing, isn't it?
duck.
Hey up, duck.
Not everyone
Hey
says
up,
hey
duck.
up,
Is that
duck.
like a Manchester thing?
I
know a guy from Manchester.
Yeah, it's a Manc thing,
I know a
I'm
guy
sure
from
it is.
Manchester that says duck. Hey up, duck.
Yeah. It's not Yorkshire.
It's been a while since I say it's been a while. Obviously, that little week that we didn't do it, I completely forgot. Not that I ever remembered how to podcast in the first place, but I completely forgot how to podcast and do an intro. So it probably sounds awful, but that's what we're stuck with.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, who wants to run through what's coming up in the show? Coming up on the show.
Coming up on the show, we have the all-new Who Am I? Going to be talking about the Isle of Man TT and the World Superbikes from Misano, and MotoGP this weekend. That's about it.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. You two are really going to have to talk me through the World Superbikes. I haven't watched any of it.
You didn't
That's
miss
fine.
much.
We'll talk you through the World Superbikes.
I've been glued to the TT, so...
Obviously, we know that the reason people listen to this podcast isn't just for the bikes, it's for the intricate knowledge of what's happening in our exciting lives. So do you want to fill anybody in on what's been going on in life?
Well, I think we'll stick to the old doco, and Chippy can go first.
Well, as we all know, Ash is fat. So we've decided...
Such a prick. It's unreal.
Me and Sam have decided we've had enough, so we're going to help him. And we both use MyFitnessPal.
This is the only time we ever give him support.
Yeah. We both use MyFitnessPal to maintain our weights. Well, Sam's still too fat, but anyway, that's another story. I'm a perfect weight. But we use MyFitnessPal, and this week we've been trying to train Ash how to use it so we can get his weight down and make him a bit healthier. And get rid of his gravitational pull.
That has been difficult trying to teach him how. You don't even know how to scan things. You're like, how do I do
hang
this?
on a minute,
How do I scan things?
I still don't know. I need to come round to not tomorrow night because I'm busy tomorrow night, but on Thursday night I need to come round to yours, Chippy, so your missus can show me exactly how to do it, so I can do it in batch and then find out exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So what needs to happen is Chippy's missus has to come round and show you how to use your phone.
No.
Yeah, basically.
No. Well, maybe.
Thursday would be a good day, actually. Come around Thursday, and we can go through it with you. I don't know what we're having for dinner, but we can talk you through it.
Cool. May as well make me a plate while you're there.
I'm working on my gains.
Right, so...
What's this? What are you going on about here, Chippy? You found out your exact height and weight.
Yes, well, this is something I found out this week. I was Googling. I found out I am the exact height and weight of the average MotoGP rider, which is 5'8", which I am, and £143, but I'm 144, so I need to lose £1, and then I'll be the exact height and weight of a MotoGP rider.
So you're the perfect height and weight for a MotoGP rider.
I am the
but you
same
don't
weight
even
as
ride
Marc
them.
Marquez.
Oh,
But
here
Marc
we go.
Marquez is a couple of inches
Oh,
shorter
Marc
than me.
Marquez, we're the same weight.
We have so much in common.
Oh, let's brown nose each
He's probably.
other.
How tall's Marc Marquez?
I think he's only like 5'6", something like that. He's
Is
a
he
couple
like a
of
little
inches
Tom
shorter.
Cruise? Little Tom Cruise, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but just
Not very
because
big.
you're the correct height and weight for a MotoGP rider, average, you can't even ride a scooter.
Yeah, no, I haven't got the skill, but I'm the. If I learn how to ride a bike, I'd be.
You have no skill. You have got absolutely nothing.
Yes. But there we go.
You're probably the right height and weight for a jockey maybe as well, but you can't ride a horse.
Yeah. No, that's true. I can't do that either. But at least I'm the right height and weight, so that's a start. Closer to being a MotoGP rider than Ash is.
Oh, what are you going to say now? I'm the height and weight as a Buddhist god or some
A
shit.
whale.
Yeah, well,
There's only one Buddhist god, it's called Buddha.
yeah, that's what I mean. But I didn't want to just say Buddha. There you go.
All my panzers have died, by the way.
That's because you can't garden. You're not a gardener.
No.
You did what the rest of us did. You moved into a new house and you thought, I'm going to try and be a gardener. You bought some garden shit and it all died, and then you realised you can't be fucked. That's
No,
what
actually,
happened. That's what everybody does.
No. Everything else is alive and doing well. My pansies died, firstly because I think it's the wrong time of year for them, and secondly the slugs got them, or caterpillars, and also there's no water gets to them where I've planted them. The rain doesn't get there.
Well, have you not been using a watering can?
I've been a bit busy.
Been a bit busy. Well, I've
Also,
currently
It's
got.
not been raining, so
I've
yeah,
currently got
I
loads
talking
of
about-
sunflowers and wildflowers growing.
I'm not a massive fan of sunflowers.
Wildflowers grow everywhere. They just grow. They're like weeds, only they're nice weeds. You don't have to try and grow
Well,
wildflowers.
you do if they're not
It's like
growing in your garden.
It's like growing dandelions. They just
If
grow.
they're not growing specifically in your garden, you've kind of got to put seeds there.
Yeah, I did
Okay,
that.
so you throw some seeds in the floor. My point is, you don't have to actually look after them.
Well, you still got
They're
water
like feral
them.
children.
It's
You
been
just
quite
have
dry
them and let them
recently.
be. Speaking of things dying, this is a slight digress. We will get to the bikes, and whenever I was like 4 or 5, I really wanted a guinea pig, and I eventually got this guinea pig, and I brought it
They
home.
stole it.
And I was only about 5 years old, and I was adamant I wanted to keep it in my bedroom this night, the first night we got it. And I had it in a box beside my bed, and I kept leaning over and grabbing the guinea pig and trying to lift it up. But I was only 5, I was small, I wasn't really strong enough to hold it, it was fidgety, so I kept dropping it into the box. I feel really bad. So I kept lifting it up, and then it would fall into the box, and I did this like throughout the night, and then eventually the Sandman came and drifted me off to sleep, and I woke up in the morning and the guinea pig was just curled up with a sort of deformed ball in the box going and it just died, and I don't even think I had the bloody thing for 24 hours. Oh, that wasn't a good
Oh,
experience.
poor guinea pig.
You say poor guinea pig, but some countries that eat guinea pigs, so he was lucky. That guinea pig was lucky he even made it out of the pet shop.
Did he survive?
No, I just told you he died.
Oh no, you said it was making a
inadvertently
dodgy
killed-
sound. In like,
Yeah, yeah. That's the sound of a guinea pig dying.
that's the sound of a dying guinea pig.
Do
This
I
is a
know
bike
what's exciting?
podcast.
Yeah, the most exciting thing in my week is I bought a new 10-litre jerry can. I don't know why. I just convinced myself that I needed one whilst I was looking through Amazon. So I bought a 10-litre jerry can. My wife was like, "Why'd you buy that for?" And I was like, "I don't know, just put petrol in it or something."
Have you got a petrol lawnmower?
No.
So you now got an empty jerry can basically.
Well, I thought I could put petrol in it for my motorbike, even though my motorbike's got wheels and can go to the petrol
Oh my
station.
god. Were you drunk?
I was an impulse. Not probably. It was an impulse buy. It was just. I've been off the drink for 2 nights now. It's the first 2 nights consecutively throughout since Christmas. I think I've not drank. So, yay me! I'm not an alcoholic anymore. Right, well, we just get into what we're here to talk about. We're just fucking talk shite.
All right, that's fine.
Well, we need to find out what.
Doesn't
Ash
matter
has been
about
up
what
to.
I've done now. Fuck me.
Well, I thought we could blend it into the show eventually. Go on ahead then. Tell the people how proud you are. Give everybody the big news.
Well, the Blackbird review that I put up is doing really, really well. And we're getting comments on it on YouTube, and it's had loads of views. So it just goes to show how good it is. Yeah.
And we are slowly, very slowly, little baby steps, slowly turning ourselves into an actual bike podcast and YouTube and platform. That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
So whoever that guy was that sent us a message, we asked if anybody had any questions, and somebody sent a message saying, why the fuck would I want to ask questions to somebody who knows about as much as bikes as what I do? And that's a fair enough comment. Why would you ask us a question? But I've got that, he was Mr. S, or it's fairly anonymous, I don't know who it was, but I've got, I think, 3 things to say. First of all, yes, it's correct. Why would you ask us a question? Exactly. Second of all, you don't have to ask us a question about bikes. It could be about anything. And third of all, thanks for listening. That's fine. Just thank you for listening. I don't care if you like it or not. Just thanks for listening. Anyway, Ash, you can continue. Blackbird review. It's doing better than your twin thingy.
Yeah, it's been
thing
better
review.
than the Africa Twin. But obviously, more people are more interested in the Blackbird, I suppose.
Yeah, it all depends what people are clicking
Well,
onto
that's
YouTube,
it.
isn't it?
Yeah, depends what they're interested in looking at. But since I've been riding the Blackbird even more and more and more, I've now got to a real dilemma. I think I'm going to have to keep it and get an Africa Twin.
Oh, don't be stupid.
Because
Yeah,
I
I
love it
understand
that
where you're
much.
coming from. Yeah, I know you love it that much, but then just don't get an Africa Twin.
But I want one.
But you were able to borrow an Africa Twin previously. I'm sure you could borrow it again for a week.
Well, no, it's not the point. Like, obviously, the Blackbird is a great bike, but it can't do certain things that the Africa Twin can do. Like, I can't go off road on a Blackbird, but I can on an Africa Twin.
Yeah, but you also can't live in the street, and you need a house.
I'm not going to live on the street. I'm going to be fine. So yeah, I've got that dilemma at the moment. I may keep it. I don't know. We'll have to see.
You're going to end up You're going to end up keeping it. You're going to end up keeping it. You're going to spend the money on an Africa Twin as well. You're going to be broke, and you're going to be sending Chippy and me messages. Wah wah wah. I'm sad, and then it's going to lead you to comfort eating, and you're going to get fatter, and you're going to be broke, and you're going to be fat, and you're going to be homeless.
Hey,
But at least you're going to have 2
I'll
motorbikes.
tell you what. If I'm homeless and I'm fat, at least I won't starve to death. So
Yeah, well, it doesn't. That's a kind of. It's a juxtaposition that doesn't really work. I've never seen a fat homeless man. Well, I have, just them lazy twats that don't work. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Proper homeless people aren't fat.
no, fair enough.
The bigger you are, the more calories you burn.
That's true. I'm off to a
Sorry.
motorbike meet tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that.
And why are you going to that motorbike meet? Do you want to tell everybody? You've told everybody else.
I'm going to the motorbike meet because that's when it's on.
All right.
No,
Is that the
no.
only reason?
That is literally the only reason. It just happens to have fallen on another day.
What day?
Well, I don't really want to go into it, to be honest. But yeah, so Mr. Motorbike Meet.
You weren't
I'm
saying
looking
that
forward to it
earlier.
again because the last one was a really, really good turnout. So I'm hoping this one's just as good. And the burgers were
So
banging.
what we were-
So I'm gonna have one of them.
So what we were alluding to was that it is Ash's birthday tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes, and I'd rather not everybody on the podcast
And
know
he's-
that it's my birthday tomorrow. To be honest.
Well, they know now.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. There's about 10 people listening
I
to
don't
the show, and
care.
I'm pretty sure it's our mums over and over again.
Could be people listening.
Yeah, Astra's going on his birthday like a teenage girl goes on about her birthday. Like he
Why
celebrates
is
the whole
nobody
month.
coming to
Well,
my
no,
birthday
I
party?
weeks ago said, "Oh, Chippy, do you fancy coming to the bike meet? It's on my birthday. It'd be cool." Just happened to be on my birthday. Straight away,
Yeah.
no, I'm not doing that. Sound
No, I'm not doing that.
great.
I can't ride a
I would
bike.
come,
What's the
mate.
point of me going?
If I didn't live a few hundred miles away from you, I would come.
I know you would. I know. You don't have to have a bike to go to the meet.
Will we crack on with the show?
Anyway,
Well, I still don't want to go anyway.
Right, let's crack on with the show.
Can we crack on with the show?
Let's do that, because nobody's
so-
listening now anyway.
Yeah, it's past 6 minute point.
Let's get into the Who Am I. Right, last week's Who Am I was the one that I did. Well, say last week's. 2 weeks ago I did a Who Am I. I'll give you the clues, and then I'll give you the answer. So, the first clue was, I was born in Italy. The second clue was, I have race wins in 125, Moto 2 and MotoGP. We have a clue there. And the third clue was, I famously headbutted a seagull in the MotoGP at Phillip Island 2015. And the answer was, Chippy, do you know this one?
Iannone, wasn't it?
It was Andrea Iannone, also known as the Maniac.
Oh,
did you know it, Ash?
No, I didn't. Not a clue.
Did you try and
It was
take time
No,
to
I
figure it out?
didn't even try and... In fact, I did try and Google it, who hit a seagull in MotoGP, and it just didn't come up.
Didn't come up, no.
No.
Even though I said I famously headbutted a seagull in MotoGP at Phillip Island 2015.
I mean,
you
I
could've just
didn't
watched
exactly
the
go in
MotoGP at
depth
Phillip
for
Island
searching for it. I kind of just put that in. Nothing came up, and I went about my day, really.
So you tried very little and then just gave up.
Yeah.
That's the
Just
sort
like my
of commitment.
fitness pal.
If that's what we're getting from, if that's the sort of commitment we're getting from the host, how do we expect people who's listening to get involved? You've got to set an example, Ash. His face. So Big Dazza got in contact, and he said, with the week's Who Am I got the answer, but he did admit that he had to use Google.
Oh, so Sam's made him do it now as well.
So he's obviously not seen. He didn't watch Phillip Island 2015, because I assure you, if you'd have seen it, you'd have remembered it, because it was hilarious. Even the commentators couldn't get over it. They were like, and it was an exciting race. 2015 was a good year, so it was really exciting.
Very good.
Anyway, this week's Who Am I is your turn.
It's
Ash.
my turn. So here come the clues. I was born in Swindon. My nickname is Spud, and I currently ride in the British Superbikes.
I got this straight away.
Well, I knew you
Yeah,
would, but
you're pretty interested in British Superbikes, so you're basically your Who Am I is who in British Superbikes is nicknamed Spud.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah, pretty much.
I've got a clue who it is, but it's not because I know the answer. It's because I know you.
Put it in the chat. Let's see if you're right.
Yeah.
And while you do that, I've just got a little bit of feedback from last week from Harvey, who says he was listening to last week's episode, or 2 weeks ago, and we were asking about a BSB race. If you fall off, can you rejoin? And he said, in any BSB race, you cannot rejoin if the bike makes contact with the floor. You used to be able to... you've just put that in the chat and I've lost it. You used to be able to, but you haven't been able to for a long time. In practice and qualifying, you can, provided marshals inspect the bike, confirm no fluids are leaking, or if you have to go straight back to the pits.
Well,
It's kind of what we thought.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's good to have it confirmed anyway, properly.
Yes. And yes, Sam, you did get it right.
Do you know how I got that? I was sitting thinking about it, and I thought, who does Ash really like in British Superbikes? For our listeners, I have literally just said the name of the show, the name of the answer, but I've had to edit it out. And these two are giving me grief, and I'm the one that's editing the bloody thing, so leave me alone. Say whatever I want. Right. Good job we in live, folks. Right, so that's the Who Am I out of the way. Right, if you would like to get in contact and answer the Who Am I question, you can do so by sending an email to podcast@bigbadbs.co.uk. You can leave your name, you don't have to, we'll read it out in the show. And you can leave a comment on YouTube if you're listening on YouTube. But if you do that, everybody will be able to see the answer. So prefer if you send us an email. And that goes for any questions or any feedback or anything at all. Anything you want to get in contact with us. Like I said before, if you want to ask us a question, it doesn't necessarily need to be about bikes. If you really want to know about fucking Chip Hats Daisies or whatever, just send him an email. Or not him, us. Right. That's all the bullshit out of the way. We're a proper podcast now. This is getting down to proper podcasting session now. So crack on with the news.
Yamaha, Honda, Suzuki and Kawasaki have announced a new research partnership that will consider the development of hydrogen-powered motorcycles that will use internal combustion engines. Now, I think this is a really good idea because I remember seeing years ago on Top Gear that Honda had developed a
I remember
car
seeing
ran
that
on
as well.
hydrogen. And I thought that's the future, not electric cars, hydrogen cars, because all it creates is out the exhaust is water because it's hydrogen and oxygen.
Is it liquid
H2O
hydrogen
water.
though?
It's compressed hydrogen. I think it's liquid.
Right.
The only problem is I think it's quite unstable. Like,
It's
quite
very
risky
explosive,
to-
isn't it?
Yeah, and also there's not many places in Britain where you can get it at the minute. But I think that is the way that cars and bikes will end up going.
Isn't that what they used to fill the
rather
blimps
than
up with
electric.
in like World War Two?
Is that not helium?
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I've no idea.
Boom!
But before the atom bomb, there was a bomb called the hydrogen bomb. Was there not?
There was.
Yeah, I think there was.
Was that not like the first nuclear bomb was called the hydrogen bomb?
So we're going to have loads of bikes just exploding on the motorway when it get too hot.
I can't really say much about this topic because I don't have a clue. The only thing I will say, you mentioned Top Gear, and a few weeks ago whenever we couldn't do the show, I said I was going to do it by myself. And Chip Hat, you said it would be like Top Gear with just one presenter, and I thought, who out of Top Gear? Who are we? Who am I in Top Gear?
I reckon
Well, I'm
Chippy's James May. You're definitely Jeremy Clarkson, and I'm Hammond.
You're a fat Hammond.
I'm a fat Hammond, and you're like
Hammond.
an Irish Clarkson.
Irish Clarkson. I was thinking that, but I thought I would leave it until the show before I asked that question. Well, I'm glad I'm Jeremy Clarkson. I wouldn't like to be
Pedantic prick.
anybody else, really.
I'm glad it's James May.
Captain Snow.
I'll take hamster. That's fine.
All
At least
right.
I'm slim.
So, yeah, I
Right,
thought that was
so
quite
there we
interesting
go.
news.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, I've seen a lot. I've seen like a hydrogen concept bike crop up on my Facebook feed quite a lot.
It's
It's like
better than
a big
electric.
green-
Electric cars and electric bikes, they're rubbish. They're just
What
everything
sound?
about
What
them's
sound?
awful.
What sound does a hydrogen car or bike?
Boom.
But there's something really off-putting about a bike that goes.
Yeah.
That's a bit shit. Or a car it goes.
Yeah.
That's shit.
Yeah, no,
Makes
you
sense.
do need the noise. Nothing will ever be better than petrol. But
Ah.
No, maybe diesel.
no,
Diesel bikes.
rip.
What do I know? All it does is the same. I don't know it as diesel petrol.
There is a diesel
I keep
bike
saying,
actually.
My wife always
It's an MT500.
My wife says to me all the time, she's like, "Do we need some petrol in the car?" And I was like, "You better fucking not put petrol in the car." And then she shrugs her shoulders. She's like, "You know what I mean?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do, but you know how pedantic I am, so fucking say diesel." I don't know why she's still married to me. She must hate me. Right,
I'd
next
hate
ball.
to living with you. At the end of round 4 Moto America at Road America in Wisconsin, former Moto 2 champion, MotoGP winner and 2017 Moto America Superbike champion Tony Elias made a surprise announcement that he was retiring from professional motorcycle road racing effective immediately.
And why was
Somehow
that?
just come out of the
I
blue.
Just can't be asked.
Well, I don't know. I think he's just had enough. I would imagine. I've not read too much into it apart from the headline. He's getting on a bit, Tony Elias, like, but I would imagine he's just. I'm surmising that he maybe didn't even want to start this year. Maybe he was just helping the team out or something. Or I'm not sure. Can't
Well, he's
read too much
40.
into it.
40,
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah, that is quiet.
Yeah, getting on a bit.
He might make a comeback. He says he's getting on a bit. Michael Rutter's racing around at 51, 52. He's still going
Yeah.
around the TT. We all, every time
John
we mention
McGuinness.
old people, we always mention Michael Rutter, John McGuinness, Jeremy McWilliams, them old farts.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tony Elias, I remember watching him in Moto 2, and he did become Moto 2 champion. It was good rider.
Yeah. It's a shame, but yeah, life goes on.
Has to retire sometime. going round at 85 and he's still going. Right, I know. Next ball.
The last bomb. This isn't really major news. It's just the second Donington BSB round later in the season will also run on the GP circuit rather than the national one, which is a good thing, because if you Google the difference, the national track cuts out the Melbourne Loop, which is probably the best part of the track. So it's very minor news, that one, but it just means a better Donington BSB round later in the season.
Donington's very good anyways.
Yeah, I love Donington.
And it gives us something else to talk about.
And that is the end of the news.
How much longer is the track, the Donington track? I know
it's literally just the hairpin at the bottom. So you got like obviously the road sort of straight up to it, the hairpin, and then straight back up. That's all it adds.
All right.
But there's a lot of action happens on that hairpin.
Yeah.
So
adds
it's better that it's in.
Adds a lot of space.
That's where Andy Irwin wiped out Storm Stacey.
Right. So that's the end of the news.
That is the end of the news.
We'll get into the bikes. We got the World Superbikes to talk about, but nobody really wants to hear about that anyway because it's boring. So we'll talk about the TT first.
Yes.
I'm sure everybody's been watching the TT.
I have been glued to it, except from today. I haven't watched today's yet.
Well, I have. I'll fill you in.
No, please don't. I want to watch it.
Well, you better.
We need to talk about it.
Oh, fine. Let me guess. Let me guess. Did Michael Dunlop win?
Well, I'll fill you in later.
Well, that's a yes.
We got a little we got a little story from I say long time listener. He's been listening from the start, as far as I know, and he's emailed us a few times. Mr. Harvey Price. He's got in contact with us with a little story that he had in Donington.
But yeah, we got a little story from him. I asked permission to use this on the pod. I didn't just sort of say it. So yeah, he was having a pint with about 10 of his mates at Donington a few weeks ago, and his mate who races in the TT was there and somehow got onto the topic, and he just said, I could be dead in 3 weeks. And he laughed, and even though they were all laughing, apparently it felt very tense.
I bet. But he's not wrong.
But he's not wrong, and it's kind of weird when you say it like that, isn't it?
But
like,
I reckon a lot of them must just say that though.
Yeah.
Because they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're getting into. They're travelling 200 miles per hour plus on motorbikes. If they come off, they haven't got a nice little gravel pit to slide into, a nice little barrier. No. They've got a fucking house. They've got a house or a stone wall or a lamppost, and it's like, you hit that 200 mile per hour, you're dead. And that's what makes the TT the most exciting sport ever.
No, but from going to road races and all, listening to like people who spoke to road racers or road racers, I've always had the thought that if you're going to the line and you're thinking like that, then you shouldn't be racing.
No, absolutely
that
not.
Needs to be out of your mind. Obviously, 3 weeks before it, you're having a pint, you're joking, you're trying to get your nerves and balance. Yeah. Like, yeah.
No.
Who knows? I'm not the one that's going out there and putting my leg over a 1000cc bike and going at 200 mile an hour. So fuck knows what I would think. But yeah, you have to make as light of these situations as you can.
Well,
Jesus.
You've got to have some bollocks to do it.
Fun.
You really do, because I just
yeah.
Hats off to him. Hats off to all of them. Yeah, I bet that was a bit tense though.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what's this next bit? I haven't put this on. Who's reading this?
Oh,
out?
this is the
right. So
Sam told us about
right.
it.
So when the TT first started, it was a statement on behalf of the Isle of Man TT races. The ACU events race organisers of the Isle of Man TT race, they confirmed that Jack Lowther, passenger of a sidecar outfit, he was excluded from the 2023 event from a positive drugs test. And I was thinking, what fucking drugs can you take that makes you better on a sidecar passenger?
Maybe a bit of cocaine, eh?
It's weird, isn't it? Like some bike riders taking. Like, I can understand a footballer or like a runner or something taking drugs, but a motorbike rider,
he could have taken steroids. It's
gonna have more effect.
And I tell you what, if he's on a sidecar, some steroids are going to help him if he's the passenger. Because it's going to make him
depends what drugs he's taking,
more pumped up to move around.
I just want to highlight that at this podcast, the Big Bad Bike Show, we don't know if it's been confirmed.
No.
We're just saying that he's been excluded. We don't know if he's taking drugs. Personally, I don't really care. I can do whatever he wants, that's right. But we don't know. We're not saying he has or hasn't, and we're definitely not saying what he's taking. We don't know.
No.
All we know is that he was excluded for that was the reason. I just thought it was a bit humorous. I was like, well, like you said, he could have took cocaine. Maybe he's just using drugs. But sure, would you not want to give that to the rider? So he's just hang along.
Just keep the throttle pinged up, and I'll move around. It's fine.
Right.
Yes.
Do you want to talk? Do you want to talk about the TT before we go on to anything else?
Yeah, I think we should, because that's the most interesting thing.
Right.
So obviously, Michael Dunlop, not yesterday, the day before, he matched wins with John McGuinness on 23. Yeah. So today, are you going to tell me that it's now 24? Oh, very good.
That's exactly what it is, number 24. So today, they went out. We can go back and talk about the rest of the races, but I'll fill you in on today. So today was the turn of the Super Stock, and the podium was the same three people on the podium that's been on any other race. So there was Peter Hickman, who won the race. Michael Dunlop came second. He was a good bit behind Peter Hickman.
Was he?
He was so far, but yeah, he was so far behind it wasn't a race. And Dean Harrison came third. He must be fed up being third.
Yeah, I bet.
Dean Harrison came third.
But I'm glad Peter Hickman won one though.
Yeah, but he was so far ahead that on his last lap, third lap going round the mountain, he was doing that thing that he does where he looks up at the camera. You know, he looks up at the helicopter. Chip, I hate you. You sat there quiet. Yeah, but the helicopter was following him, and they said on the commentary that the riders usually know when the helicopter's following them so much they're doing well. Like, I think that was maybe years ago. You knew if a helicopter was following you, you must be doing pretty fast. You must be going pretty fast. So he looked up when he was going over the mountain and acknowledged the camera, and then when he was coming up the home straight towards the start and finish line, he was pulling wheelies and all. So he knew he was miles ahead. He was like 20 seconds or something ahead.
Bloody hell.
And then it was a bit of a race between Michael Dunlop and Dean Harrison, but Michael Dunlop got a second comfortably in the end, and Dean Harrison got a third. And then the second race of the day, which was the Super Twin.
Yeah.
Yes, the Super Twin was the second race of the day. As far as who won the race, it was just normal procedure. Michael Dunlop went out and absolutely smashed it. At the end of the race, he was over 30 seconds in front of the second place.
Yeah.
And he was still 5 seconds under his all-time lap record.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he finished the race, and they were asking him about it. I wrote some of this down. So whenever he was going through his qualifying and all, his bike not fully bits, but his bike didn't feel right. So he had to pull it apart. But whenever he pulled it apart, they couldn't put it together properly. So they had to get some guy called Andrea. This is what he said, Andrea, and he couldn't get a flight. So this fella Andrea had to drive for 2 days to get to the Isle of Man, and then had to stay up all night building the bike and getting it all ship shape. And then he said today at the end of the race he wasn't even trying. That's basically what he said. He said I was nursing that the whole way around. And he was still 30 seconds in front of everybody else. And second place was an Irish lad called Mike Brown. And third place was Jamie Coward.
All right, yeah. He's been doing well, though.
So, yeah, he has. And then Peter Hickman got fourth, and Josh Brooks got fifth.
Oh, that's pretty good from Josh Brooks. Chippy's favourite, FHO.
So that is one.
I think you're just trying to wind me up.
He wasn't on an FHO bike.
Oh, was he not?
No.
Well, I'm glad Peter Hickman won one, though, because I like Peter Hickman.
Yeah, I am glad Peter Hickman won one, because as much as I like to see Michael Dunlop go in there and clean house, if he won every race, you would think, well, inevitably it was a bit boring, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The same person won over
it's
and over
nice to see somebody else.
Especially if it was always, yeah. And it was nice to see somebody else like Mike Bryan and Jamie Coward on the podium.
So on this TT, can Michael Dunlop still beat his Uncle Joey's record if he?
Yeah, so he's got 4 races left.
Yeah.
But realistically, he's got He's got a Super Sport, which he won comfortably, the first Super Sport. He's got another Super Twin, which he won comfortably. He's got the Senior Race, which is basically a Superbike race, which he won comfortably. So that's 3. So he can realistically get to 27. We've been asked a question about this. So it's from Harvey again. Yeah, Harvey asked us 3 questions. And the first question was thoughts on Dunlop becoming the most successful road racer in history. So the most successful TT rider in history. And my thought is, realistically, as long as there's no problems, he doesn't get any mechanical errors, and the weather stays alright and he doesn't fall off, hopefully I've not jinxed him, but as long as none of that happens, I can easily see him getting to 27 this year, because he's easily fastest on the Super Sport, easily fastest in the Super Twin, and going judging by the last Superbike race, he'll win it as well. And that only leaves the Super Stock, which I think Peter Hickman will probably go out and win comfortably again. So I believe by the end of this TT week, Michael Dunlop will hit 27 wins under his belt. That's what I think.
I hope so, because he definitely. I mean, I just love watching him. I was having a discussion with my dad about it the other day, and he was saying that sometimes he looks slightly unsafe, and I was like, well, he's pushing it. That's why he's getting to the top, because he's pushing them bikes to the limit. And I just think he's fucking brilliant. It would be great to see him beat his Uncle Joey's fucking record, but he's still only a young man. He could go and beat that record and keep coming back and just keep smashing it and make that record huge.
I think there's something about watching somebody break a record like that, like when, like Michael Schumacher, when he got his 7th world title, I can't remember now, but like when you're seeing, like, you are watching the greatest of all time, like Mark Marquez. You're watching, you are literally watching history being made. I just think
there's something
I quite
when
like
it comes to watching Michael Dunlop, especially going around the TT. There's something very poignant. There is something like, just like, there is that word, I'll use it again, something very, very poignant that just makes you sit back and realise what you're watching. It's not, it is amazing. You're watching the best rider ever, probably, going around the TT, in form, with bikes at work, ready to smash his uncle's record. And then you think about, whenever you mention his uncle, you think about the whole story that's led up to this point.
It's very. He's gonna. If he breaks the record, it'll be very, very emotional.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard to think about it without getting.
I think I'd probably start malling if he does. To be fair,
I'm going to be honest. I personally don't want him to break the record this year, because I'd like to go to the TT next year and then be there.
Yeah, that's true. Never thought about that. Yeah.
They keep saying they're like, oh, there's still time, folks, and it's like, yes, there's still time, but I've got shit to do. But you'll go next year. I've got a whole year to plan my life and get over there. But I do reckon he's going to. I reckon he'll take 27 this year. I do. And then I was thinking about it today. I was sitting on the sofa on my scratcher watching the bikes, and I was thinking the question is, how many can he get to? Because like you said, he's still a young man. If he comes back next year, let's say, for example, he does get to 27, which I think he could. If he comes back next year and he's in the same form and the bikes are working and the weather's just as good, he could maybe win another 3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah, and he could just keep extending that freaking lead.
You're getting into numbers of like 33, 34, 35. This is like getting years in the future, but he's got years left. That's
but he's going to get into the numbers where it's going to be practically impossible to beat it. I think that's what he'll do. And on that awesome Hawk Racing Honda, he's going to get there.
Oh yeah, I also mentioned...
it's his own team, actually. It's MD Racing, isn't it?
Yeah, still.
But I'm pretty sure Hawk Racing.
And he's got Carl Cox in the back of it. I saw a picture of Carl Cox there with him as well, so Carl Cox maybe sponsoring him or something, the DJ.
I seen he made a comment as well, which was probably the most. It just reminded me of you, Sam, when I seen the comment. and he said most riders have a protein shake on a protein shake before the night before for a race. I have a pint of lager or something like that. It was just that's just Sam.
My protein shake's a pint of beer.
Yeah, so like that. It's like fucking hell. Love it. But no, I know what he's saying. It would be cool to go to the TT and watch him win, but I think he'll do it this year, and I hope he does.
Yeah, they're watching it on the app, and they're always like, they're really sensitive when they come to the record. They're like, oh, we don't want to mention the record, we don't want to talk about it, especially when they're interviewing them, because obviously they don't want to jinx anything.
No.
But the fact is, they're all there thinking, I think this is the year it's going to happen. And the weather has been so good this
really
year
has.
as well. You're watching it, the
class.
weather's fantastic. You're thinking you could be sitting there with a pint in your hand. This is a year Michael Dunlop might beat the record. It's incredible. And I'm just sitting there and I'm getting so emotional. And I'm like, I just want to be there watching it instead I'm stuck in this fucking house. I love my house. I love my kids. I love my dog. You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because there's every year you want to go to TT. I think this is maybe it. And we missed out
Yeah, probably, but
next year.
yeah.
I still think one of the best riders ever to go round the TT was Ian Hutchinson, and I think it's a shame he's not there this
I
year,
reckon.
obviously, for
Do you think
medical
if
reasons.
Ian Hutchinson had been in his prime still and hadn't had the accident, do you think he would be still smashing it?
I think he's got 16 TT wins. He had a really bad accident and he missed a fair few TTs because of it. At least 2, maybe 3. Correct me on that if I'm wrong. But he was the first rider to win 5 a day. So you have to imagine that them TTs that he wasn't there, you think he would have won at least 1 or 2.
Yeah.
If you take 2 out of them 2-3 TTs, you're talking 4 or 6 TTs. That takes him into the 20s. And then if he could have been there this year, who knows? But you know,
I like him. I like him as a pundit, though.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's quite cool.
yeah, he
having
knows
him
what he's
on
talking
there.
about. We got a couple of other questions from Harvey about the TT.
Go on.
So he said, should TT0, TT electric bikes, come back to allow greater innovation for electric motorcycles on circuits that aren't Moto E spec?
No.
Because going back to what I said earlier, I don't think electric bikes are the way forward. I think it's hydrogen powered.
The problem is what they're going to do with these
I don't
electric
like electric
bikes
stuff.
is they're going to get one lap round the course and then they'll have to recharge for 20 minutes.
Well, they only really do 1 lap. That's it.
No,
I'm not a fan.
keep it with the good old petrol.
But the thing
That's
is,
what the
if they
Isle of
are
Man's about.
determined, if they are determined to go electric, if they are so determined to go electric, everything will eventually have to go electric. And the thing is, the TT will have to go electric as well.
But
the only way you can start manufacturing motorcycles that are built with the endurability to go that distance is to put them through their paces. Let's be honest, if you want to design a bike, an electric bike that can have the durability and can last the distance, the TT is the perfect place to build it, or not build it, but take it to and test it, put it through its paces.
Oh, they're just so boring.
They are. And the thing is,
Yeah,
that
they
can't
are,
be the future, because can you imagine like a Hell's Angel on an electric bike?
Well, Harley Davidson,
riders.
they have electric bikes now.
Yeah, but it's not right.
No.
It's really not right.
Yeah, but can you imagine the Hells Angels in 100 years' time? They won't be the Hells Angels of today. They won't be the Hells Angels of yesteryear.
It'll be they, them.
The Hells. They'll be like the Hell Snowflakes. Anyway, if anybody in the Hells Angels will listen to this, I'm not having a dig. I'm just trying to be funny.
Please don't beat yourself.
Yeah. I saw a bike group when I was in France. I stopped at a service station. I think I maybe told you this. They had like purple patches, and I looked at the patches, and it was a picture of like an old man with a beard, and their like bike thing was called Grumpy Old Bastards. And I thought, I want to be in that bike group.
You would suit that very much.
Yeah, you would.
I would say that.
So the final question here is: should the TT ask professional marshals from the UK to attend, as they have top tier expertise, whereas TT marshals attend a 1-day training course? Lots of love, Harvey Price. I think they should ask experienced marshals if they want to go. Really, it makes more
You
sense.
should have a mix.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, yeah, maybe a mix. Yeah. Well,
I think this is a knock-on effect from the Irish road racing because, as you know, the Irish road racing isn't. I know the racing itself's just as good, and the riders are putting in just as much effort. But the Irish road racing as a whole thing, as a whole bubble, isn't maybe in inverted commas as professional as the British superbikes. I know the marshals and British superbikes, most of them are volunteers, so they're not getting paid. But they've got a track to go to week in, week out, and they've got facilities and toilets and coffee machines, and they do a lot more. So they can do kart racing, car driving, track days, motorbike racing. Whereas you turn up at a road race, and you basically walk up to the clerk of the course or whoever's organising it, and you're like, "You're right, mate. Can I be a marshal?" Just gives you a piece of paper and you stick it around your fucking belt loop, and then you can stand wherever you want. So I think it's a knock on from that. I was also thinking that if you ask actual like British superbike marshals, just because the TT's on doesn't mean that them marshals aren't already working on the tracks that they already volunteer at. Because not everything stops. There'll still be track days going on. There's still like car racing going on. There'll be kart racing, and then volunteers who volunteer as marshals, do they not have to do all that as well? Like, you can't just go there and pick and choose what you marshal.
I've just had a thought. I think this is quite clever from Harvey, because he's asking here whether TT should ask marshals from the UK to attend. I've just realised I'm pretty sure Harvey Price is a marshal at Donington Park or somewhere like that. I think he's just trying to get a free pass over to the TT.
yeah.
Well, as you know, whenever I move, because I'm moving soon and I'm going to be moving close to a racetrack, and my intention is to go to that racetrack, and I'm going to be going straight there and I'm going to marshal. I don't care if I'm marshalling bikes or cars or karts or track days or what it is. I want to marshal. I'm planning that I'll do like 2 weekends a month. And then the idea is that if I was, my thinking was, if I learn how to marshal on that course and get like some sort of marshalling government body or whatever it is to sign me off my cues, I could then maybe go to like Donington Park or Silverstone or whatever during like MotoGP or World Superbikes and be like, "Hey, I'm a marshal. Let me stay here and get free bikes."
You get free food in the clubhouse.
Well, there you go, Ash. That's it.
Because I remember you used to have to wait to get your breakfast because the marshals got their breakfast first.
God. Is that why you marshalled then, just to get your breakfast?
I've never
early?
marshalled.
You'd be marshalling now, he knows there's free food. That'll be it.
No, I can't. I'm calorie counting.
Ash, calorie counting my ass. It's your birthday tomorrow, and what are you going to have? First thing?
Full English.
And then what are you going to have whenever you go to the bike meet?
Big old dirty burger and chips.
You probably have a birthday
And what
cake
you
as well at some
Birthday
point.
cake, yeah, absolutely. I don't know what I'm having for
Yeah,
dinner.
so that's your so your calorie counting's gone.
Well, no,
calorie
because
counting's
it's my bloody birthday. I can do that.
Has he not mentioned it's his
Oh,
birthday?
Well, Sam mentioned it
so
just
calories don't. So calories don't count on your birthday, is that it?
Calories don't take
I'm
days
carrying
off,
over 600 and some from the first day, so I'm alright.
so that'll be a slice of cake, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be one of your coffees that you drink.
I'm not
Your
drinking
large
coffee.
Fucking. What was that coffee you got? You went to Costa the other day.
I-
And you got.
yeah, I met him in Costa
You
the
got
other
a cup
day.
of. Got a cup of coffee you could swim in.
So
Yeah.
these guys want me to lose some
Go
weight.
on, go
right?
ahead, Chippy.
You
Go
guys
ahead.
want me to lose
tell
some
us.
weight.
You were
And
there.
this is the support group I get. I just get fat shamed 24/7.
Well, don't be fat then. Anyway, I
We've
met you
been
at Costa
supporting
the
you.
other day. I met you at Costa, and I bought myself a double espresso because it's only like 12 calories. And you asked for a large hot chocolate with hazelnut syrup.
Exactly.
And I worked out, I was like, that was nearly 500 calories.
Tasted good.
That's like a lunch. And then you had that healthy yogurt, which had about 475
Right, can we get back to the
calories
fucking
in,
bikes, you absolute nonce?
and 14
Come on,
teaspoons of sugar
get
in.
on with it. Fucking hell.
Before we go anywhere else,
Fatty.
before we go any further, just a little word of appreciation for Harvey for continuing to get in touch. It's not the first time he sent us an email. Been a big part of the show this week, Harvey. Thanks very much. Keep it up. We do appreciate it. We like it when people get in touch. We like to know that somebody's actually listening and paying attention, even though we do talk absolute bullshit. Right, so that's the TT. Do we need to go into any more?
Nah, more or less
All we want
covered.
to talk about and all. Anybody?
Mind you, one of the riders, can't remember his name, but one of the riders did get hit square on in the helmet at 200 miles per hour by a fucking bird. And you should have seen the state of his helmet.
I seen the helmet. I seen it on social media.
He ended up with two black eyes and a lot of bird guts in his helmet.
Also, a little mention to Michael Russell.
Yes.
Jack. So, in his first super sport or super bike race, he came like 25th, 26th. Super sport, he got like 25th, 26th. Sidecar, he got 25th, 26th. I don't know what he got in the super stock. I didn't see. But today in the super twin, the last I heard, he was in 13th just before he crossed
really
the line,
good.
and he was a good bit in front of anybody else. So I'm pretty sure he got 13th in the super stock. So well done, Michael Russell.
I think on one of the races he was on his BMW 1000RR and he got 19th in that, so that's pretty good.
That must have been the super stock today then.
But
that's decent. Like I know I'm trying to I'm on a little bit better. It doesn't matter. 13th is class. If you could just break into that top 10, how amazing would that
it
be?
would be class. I have been keeping in touch with him, but he is very busy, so his replies are very few and far between. But
he's probably thinking, "Oh Jesus, that's fat white. Leave me alone.
Just leave me alone and let me race for fuck's sake." Yeah, probably.
No, I haven't got your fucking stickers on my bike.
Oh well.
Right. Well, we move on from the TT and talk about the World Superbikes.
Right.
So
You
excited
guys
to talk
gonna
about
have to
World
lead on
Superbikes.
this because I haven't got a Scooby.
The first race was awful. Right, so at the very start, they were lined up on the grid. They'd done the warm-up lap. And then I just see this puff of smoke and somebody start waving their arms. And it turns out it was Brad Ray, which I was gutted about.
No.
So we had a problem at the start. I can't remember if he started at the back. They did another warm-up lap,
No,
I think.
so he had a problem at the start. They had to sail him into the pit lane to have a look at it. They did another warm-up lap. He joined him in the warm-up lap, and then they had to start at the very back of the grid, which was annoying because Brad Ray had, I believe, he had got his best qualifying session. That was his best qualifying, and he had to start at the back. So
Yeah.
pretty much as British fans, the number one reason why we watch it, obviously Johnny Ray and all that, but you know we're really rooting for Brad Ray this year because it's his first year.
Yeah.
I think that goes and happens anyway. Yeah. So apart from
And then
that,
I just put boring race after that because it was awful.
it was
Bal-
pretty much
Bautista
as you were.
just won.
Yeah,
And it was boring.
It's pretty much as you were. For
Where
the
did
rest
Top
of the
Rat
season.
come? Second?
Bautista was
Let's have a look. Shall I
third.
get the results
No,
up?
in the first race he came third.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
because-
Rinaldi got second.
All right.
Rinaldi got second. And probably something to note, the two Ducati factory riders were wearing yellow because Ducati believe they're not selling enough yellow bikes. That's why they're wearing yellow.
Got you.
Because they believe that yellow is the official Ducati colour, is it not?
It is, yeah.
Or is it? Yeah, but they're not selling enough yellow bikes, so that's why they're wearing yellow. And I believe that the factory Ducati riders and MotoGP will also be wearing a yellow livery.
It's not going to
And the
make
yellow.
more people buy yellow Ducatis. I'm sorry, it's not.
Oh, that's a bullshit reason. That's just what they're saying. They just wanted to roll them out in yellow so that people they stand out.
I'll tell you what, there
What
is
else have they
something
got to
about a
say?
yellow Ducati which does look cool, though. I wouldn't have one myself because I'd have to go either red or black on it. But when I do see one, which is not very often, I think, oh, that's pretty cool, actually. It is cool.
But they have to do something to get the cameras on them, because let's be honest, Ronaldo usually falls off. And then Batista's so far up the road that the cameras don't even look at him. They're all looking back at second and third to see who's going to win the rest. So Lenovo and the rest of the sponsors are probably thinking, it's all well and good being on the championship bike, but no fuckers looking at them.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It was a bit of a tasty fight for a little while between Bassani and Rinaldi again. I like watching them two race.
Yeah, it is
There's
good.
a little bit of needle there, isn't there?
Yeah, they do like to scrap.
Right, so the sprint race again is pretty much
Well, it's probably the most interesting one of the weekend.
as you were.
Where did Johnny
What
Ray
was the one that
come?
was red flagged? Fast and sixth.
Yeah, he didn't do very well.
In fact, Johnny Ray has basically come out and said that his bike's just not fast enough. They were saying in one of the races he came out and the commentators were saying that he did a lap round the course and it was actually like half a second or something slower than his lap last year. And it's like where all the other bikes have moved forward, it looks like the Kawasaki has just stayed the same. You know what I mean? So.
How's Tom
Well, you
Sykes
need to make
doing? Because was this his first meet on the BMW?
He crashed.
Oh no!
As if you had to ask.
Well, no, I don't know, so that's why I'm asking. So he crashed in a sprint.
Oh, of course you did. No, I don't know if it was the first race or the second race or whatever, but yeah, he crashed.
Yeah, he
out
crashed
at
in
one
the
of the
second
races.
race.
So how did he do in the
race,
sprint
yeah,
run?
that was cool. That was a
He didn't
sprint
do
race.
very. He didn't do very well.
Oh right, okay. Well, I just thought I'd ask.
Put it this way, he maybe did better than he did in the Kawasaki, but he didn't set the world on fire.
No.
And
So the first race he finished 16th out of 21 finishers. So at least he finished.
yay! Yeah, it's a bit better than he did in the Kawasaki.
Do it for
Yes,
Yorkshire.
When they got Tito Rabat on that Kawasaki, and he fell off too.
Yes, the Superpole race, he finished 20th
Oh,
out of 21 finishers.
So it sounded like it was a great idea to move to BMW.
well, at least he's finishing races
Oh, it's
on
a
the
bike.
BMW.
It must be the bike. It's the bike. It's a problem. Yeah, well done, Tom.
And then the final race of the weekend, where is he?
Crashed.
Where is he on there? I can't find him.
That's the one where he crashed.
Oh, he finished 13th. He must have crashed and got back on.
Yeah, 13th in bad.
All right.
There you go.
Well, he
did
finished
all
ahead
right,
of Scott
crashed.
Redding in that one.
Oh, by the way, if Tom Sykes, any Tom Sykes fans are listening, we're just a bit of a joke. We do like Tom Sykes. Nowadays he's British, but we're just
Chippy doesn't. Look at his face.
Chippy doesn't like him.
He don't like him because he's from Yorkshire.
From Yorkshire. No, Scott Redding. So I didn't realise, we're going to talk about this later, but I didn't realise that it sounds very much like Scott Redding's been given the option whether he wants to stay at BMW. Like he's been told.
Yeah, well, he was given originally, I think, a 2-year contract with an option to extend for like another 2 years.
But again, you were seeing it on TV and the commentators were talking about it, and it's almost like you feel he has to fight for his ride because Top Rat's gone there and they've still got Vandermark and they've got Scott Redding. But at one stage he was just like, people were passing him, he was shaking his head, and it's led me to think, I don't like Top Rat's a phenomenal rider. He's really good at what he's doing on the Yamaha. He's finished in the podium every race bar one when I think Alex Lowe's took him out or somebody took him out. It might have been Dominic Agata or somebody, I'm not sure. But he's doing really well. But moving to the BMW, my word, it is a terrible decision.
Yes.
Like, Scott Redding is maybe not the best rider in the world, but fuck's sake, he's decent enough. He's not down there because he's not trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tom Sykes is a world champion. He's not down there because he's not trying. Oh, admittedly, Tom Sykes is maybe not at his peak,
He's too
but he's
old.
not. Maybe, but he's better than 20th. Come on. Put Tom Sykes in a decent bike, he's going to be up around top 10, 12, 13th. He's not 20th. Come on.
No.
He's not. And Scott Redding shouldn't be riding a bike, shaking his head. Maybe he should be shaking his head if he's, if he's second or third. But Scott Redding's got the talent to be at the front, at least in the top, fighting for the top 5, top 10. He shouldn't be down where he's at. So I think Top Rack, they're talking about it as if Top Rat's going to go there and perform miracles. I hope he does. I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he goes there and sets the world on fire and proves to everybody that he should have been on a MotoGP bike in Yamaha. But I personally cannot see it happening. No. I honestly think he might have just ruined his career.
I think he has.
Yeah.
I really do.
Right.
But if he fails there, I could see Yamaha just taking him back in a heartbeat. Or
depends
any
Yamaha.
top team.
Depends what happens with Yamaha. Right. So I think we just forget about talking about World Superbike. Boring.
Well, there's just something I want to touch on. It was Danilo Petrucci, because at the start of the season he was saying about how everybody's mental in the sprint races and he doesn't like them. Well, he caused Remy Gardner and Agata to crash at the start of the sprint race.
Oh, he did. Yeah, I seen that. That's right.
Yes, he then got a long lap penalty. But then didn't he? Let me see. Petrucci and Lecuona then crashed again, bringing out the red flag. Lecuona declared unfit for the rest of the weekend, and Petrucci got no penalty. But I thought Petrucci had a bit of a reckless weekend, considering he was the one slating everybody in the sprint races.
Poor Lecuona. I like Lecuona.
Shut up.
Yeah, Lecuona didn't have a good weekend, to be
What are you
honest.
telling me? Shut up for you fucking specky-eyed twat.
Why do you like him so much?
Because I do. Yeah, why do you like Marquez so much?
I think...
Yeah, but Lecuona's so average.
So's Marquez.
No, I don't.
All he has to do is sneeze and he breaks his hip. Carry on.
So I think Petrucci's annoyance was they made some developments on the bike this week, and he was looking like he could get a good finish, and I think he was just a little bit frustrated with his qualifying that he wanted to get up the pack pretty quick. Yeah. Obviously not the right way to go about it, but I was thinking I know he didn't do himself any favours, I'm not saying he did, but Danilo Petrucci, I can't say his first name. Danilo,
Danilo, I think.
Daniello. Anyway, Petrucci. And he's another rider that I've rated fairly highly. I'm not saying he's going to win world championships, but I think he's a decent rider. And I genuinely think if you put him on the factory Ducati bike, he would, maybe not win races because you got Bautista there, but I think he would be a good second rider for the factory Ducati.
Yeah.
But Ducati didn't need anybody else. They just need somebody that's going to second or third and let Bautista go and win.
Well, they're not.
Yeah, I think they've got they've got it right with Rinaldi. Rinaldi's happy to finish second.
Do you know what Ducati need now on that bike? They need a young rider that you're not expecting to win, that maybe in 3 or 4 years' time you want to be in his peak. You need a young rider to come up.
Yeah, but they're not going to get rid of Bautista because he keeps winning.
No, but I mean, you keep Bautista because Bautista's going to win. What you need to start developing a young rider now, a rider that can come in. Yeah, you need a rider that can come in and finish 9th or 10th, and it's like, that's fine. We're developing him, and then 2 or 3 years from now, get him to the stage where he's like, right, I'm ready to start winning races, and then that's when Bautista will fuck off and retire, and you've got this fantastic rider. Like,
somebody like Gian Antonio from MotoGP.
Should we just start talking silly season? Because that's what
let's not do that just yet. I was just gonna. The final thing I'm going to point out about World Superbikes, and I'm going to shut up, is there's been 15 races so far, if you include the Superpole race. Bautista has won 14 of the 15 races.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. And the only one he hasn't won is the one he crashed. Yeah.
He's broke a record saying that. The record that he's won the most races at the start of a season. Anyway, which I know there's that whole, well, there's more races now than there ever was before, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I honestly, genuinely believe he could go the rest of the season and win every race.
He probably could.
Like,
yeah, I think he could.
Does any of you disagree with that he could win every race this season? Unless he crashes.
No, I don't. I think he will, yeah.
Like, I know Johnny Ray won 6 in a row and he was pretty formidable, but was it this boring? Was it because I'm a Johnny Ray fan, because we're both from the same neck of the woods, or he's a British rider? Was it this boring when Johnny Ray was winning?
I don't think it was, because we're British. If it was a Frenchman or a German or something like that, I would have probably found it boring. But because he was British,
whenever Johnny Ray was winning, he seemed like, I know not all the time, but he seemed to be in a race with Tom Sykes and Chaz Davies, and
Yeah.
he seemed to be racing them guys. Like there seemed to be a bit of needle between them. Like there was, like on their day you thought they could win. Like on the
Yeah.
day you thought, well, Chaz Davies could win it and take. Like yes, he'd probably not win the championship. On his day he could win a race. I'm trying to think of who else was there. Who else was riding the bike? Or
But even
Scott
last
Redden at the
year,
time.
yeah, even last year you thought, Johnny Ray or Toprak could get wins against Bautista. It wasn't guaranteed Bautista was going to win the championship, but this season it is just, you just know, don't you, it's going to be Bautista.
Exactly, and it's like coming back to something I said a few weeks ago. Does Dorna really want this? You know what I mean?
What can they do about it,
Dorna
though?
as the I know what can they do. They can't do anything. Like what can you do? Take another 250 revs off the Ducati. He's still got. He won the last race by about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, the guy could run it on a fucking pedaling pole. Jesus, he just won it. I know he's amazing. You can't take it away from Bautista. He's amazing. And 2019 when he came in, you thought he was going to do the same, and then obviously something happened with his head and he started crashing and he lost the season. So obviously he's got in check with that. So fair play to him for getting over whatever demons there was, because he was a bit of a crasher in MotoGP as well. So he's obviously found a nice balance, life, riding, comfortable. The guy is incredible. You can't take that away from him. But God, it's so boring, isn't it? It's just...
Yeah.
I can't really talk about the super. I can't talk much about the super sport or anything like that because I was kind of.
I didn't watch any of it.
No, absolutely saying I was kind of distracted by. I watched a little bit of Moto America. I can't really talk about it because I haven't watched all of it. Well, I'm the only guy who watches it anyway. So I watched a bit of Moto America and I've obviously been distracted by the TT. So
Yeah, I think we've all been glued to the TT pretty much.
Yeah.
But that's natural. We've got to do that, I'm afraid. So if you don't like it,
Yes. Tough.
who are you talking to, Ash? The fans. The fans of the show. You don't fucking like it, you can fucking stop listening.
yeah, that's who I'm talking to.
I want to go back to why you don't call people duck. Why not?
Because
I
it's
thought
not
that was a
it's not a
Yorkshire
Yorkshire thing. Well, it might not be from my neck of woods in.
Hey up, duck.
No, not A up duck.
I work.
No.
I work with a guy from. He keeps saying, "I'm from Donny. Hey, I'm from Donny."
I know who
Like
he
that.
is.
Oh,
I think
God.
that means Doncaster.
Donny is
He rides a bike,
so
doesn't he?
rough.
No, he doesn't work with me. He just works in the same place as me.
Rough,
Yeah, I know
rough
who
as
he
hell is
is.
Donny.
But he kept saying, "Hey up, duck."
Yeah.
He says, "Hey up, duck."
South, southern,
I'm
then
gonna say it for
southern,
now.
down south. Yeah.
You're from Leeds. You're not even in the north.
I'm not from Leeds.
Well, you're from near Leeds. Are you from north or south of Leeds?
North.
Oh, you maybe just scrape into the north. Maybe.
I am in
'cause
the
I
north.
worked out the other day. Day that the central part of the UK is around Middlesbrough, so he's below that. So actually, Ash is a
Well,
southern.
I'm not, because I'm in northern
No,
England.
that's the UK. I did this once when I was procrastinating and I was bored. I measured from the south of England to the north of England, and I broke it into 3 sections, being the south, the middle, and the north. And Leeds, if you do the little by centimetres north, by their measurements, Leeds is just at the very top of the middle. So
We're in northern England.
your middles. Yeah, but Northern England doesn't really work when there's a whole country that shares your flag and your money and your government, which is basically the same country, north of you. So you can't be north of anything if Scotland's up there.
We are northern England.
Whenever you're going home, do you say, I'm heading north? No, you head down south.
Do you know what? I still say it now. I'm off.
You still say what?
I'm driving up home. Like, I still say it, even though I'm
You're
going.
not driving up
I know,
home.
but I still say it because I'm so used to not being where I am now, and like I still say it.
Whereas I can say I'm from the north. You can't get much further north than where I'm from. Not right now, because I live in South England. But
Well, I'm I am from the north because in Northern England, and England's the best out of all of them. So
I step out of my house. I step out of my house and walk into the sea. I'm walking into the North Sea or the Irish Sea, one or the other. I'm not very good at geography.
No, Northern England, 100%, and
Anyway,
the best out of all of them. But anyway, carry on.
not as good as Devon. Should we bring this back to bikes?
Shithole is Devon.
Yes.
So we've got this little bit about the MotoGP, and then we'll get on to silly season, shall we?
Oh, I want to go on to silly season. I'm looking
Yeah, I
forward to
know,
silly
but we got
season.
this little bit about MotoGP. It's only little.
That's me scratching my head. Hello. Right. Right, MotoGP.
Yes.
Who's doing the talking? Ash, you've not talked in a while. You do it.
What? Hang on.
He's like, hold on till I find where I'm at in the
Alright,
dock because I've
yeah.
not been following. As usual. Do you want me to do it?
If you want to, I was just about to do it because you're bitching at me.
We're such a professional podcast. Right, you do it, Ash. Go ahead.
So, Paul Espargaro is planning on returning to Mugello if he gets the all clear to race. If not, he's aiming for the Saxon Ring.
You, I've been for a Saxon ring a few times. You. Ba-dum.
How long's that been now that Paul Espargaro's been out then?
He went out at
First
the
race
beginning
of
of
the
round.
season.
Yeah, he went out at the beginning of round one.
Fucking hell.
So I was
He's
like,
probably
what,
lucky he
beginning
went
of
out when he
March?
did because if he hadn't, Mark Marquez would have probably taken him out the other way.
Oh, well, it's good he's coming
just-
back
just a
anyway, at
joke,
least. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was really badly smashed.
He was.
He was badly
Because
smashed
he
up,
he hit the barrier and then the bike hit him, didn't it?
And then after he hit the barrier, they're like, oh, maybe we'll put an air fence in here. That seems like a good idea. Yeah, now, you know, that was at Portimao when they're like, oh, Portimao's, well, Portimao, yeah, and they're like, Portimao's not safe. It's like, oh, now you tell us. You got to fix this gravel. Oh, great, tell us that now. Now my bike is flipped and hit me. No, it's good he's coming back. It's nice to see him coming back. I doubt he'll be very competitive, but just get him on the bike, I'm sure he'll get an applaud, and fans will be happy to see him out there and fitting well, inverted commas.
Yes.
Yeah. And is it Lorenzo Dalla Porta? Have I said that right?
Lorenzo
Yes.
Dalla Porta,
There we go.
yes.
And
That's correct.
SAG Racing have parted ways.
They have. After just 5 rounds. It's a shame that, because he was Moto3 world champion.
Why is that
a few
then? Do we
years
know?
ago. I think it's just poor results.
Right.
He's never really done it in Moto2.
Why was that not in the news?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really consider it major news. It's kind of just something to quickly mention.
Just needed something to talk about
Yeah.
MotoGP, eh?
Yeah, can you also buy me a bit of time because I'm trying to find out if anybody's replacing him, so just talk among yourselves.
Well, I'm hoping.
So, SAG Racing aren't going to part ways with Lorenzo Dalla Porta unless they believe they've got somebody to come in there. They're not just going to have a space and no fella.
That's true. So, do you reckon's going to slot in there then?
Is that Moto2?
That's Moto2, yeah.
Who could they get in for Moto2? Like, who needs a ride?
Don't know.
I'm trying to
I
think of
honestly don't
anybody.
know.
I'm trying to think of anybody. Like, obviously, you can bring somebody from Moto3, but the people you're going to bring from Moto3 is the people that are fighting for a championship, and why would they want to come up? They'll want to keep fighting for the Moto3 championship. Or you bring somebody down from MotoGP, it's not doing well, but again, there's nobody in MotoGP. Maybe there's a test rider or something like that, but I'm not entirely sure. It seems a bit strange that they would just part ways with somebody if they hadn't anything. They must have something planned.
Yeah. I mean,
Or
the MotoGP's
maybe-
next weekend.
Or has SAG Racing, maybe, like, if they just ran into financial troubles and that's why they've had to stop it, because they're like, maybe it's not Lorenzo Dalla Porta, maybe it's just like, you know what, we're really sorry, we can't afford to run the bike, we're going to have to pull out.
Yes.
Right, so here we go.
I've found the replacement. I've never heard of him. Tiger Harder.
Ivor Hardy.
Tiger Harder?
He's Japanese. He calls himself Tiger Harder, but his name's Taigahada.
I like that.
Tiger Harder.
Yeah.
Tiger Harder.
I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it's like Tiger.
Sounds like something out of a
I was thinking that as well.
Harder.
Yeah, it
Just
looks like
slagging
he's the
off
guy.
something.
Tiger King goes wild.
It looks like
have
he's
you
the
got
guy
any-
to replace him. But which is
Have you
good
got any
because
idea? Have you got any idea
Dallaport-
where he's racing at the minute, or?
no, you're asking me. I've just put my phone away. But I mean, what was Lorenzo Dalla Porta? Was he Italian? So we got rid of an Italian and got a new
Or
Japanese guy.
Spanish.
So
Yeah, Lorenzo's a very Spanish name.
no, I'm pretty sure he was Italian. I'm sure he is. He was. It looks like he was racing in Japanese championship. So
Oh well, let's hope he does well.
well, I mean, I haven't really got any feeling towards him.
Well, neither have I. But
No, I think
with a
it's
name
just
like
somebody setting about.
Tiger Harder, that's cool. Get on Tiger.
We're obviously
that's-
pronouncing that wrong. We're pronouncing that wrong. We apologise. We've never heard of him before. But the thing is,
Yeah.
if you're bringing somebody in from a Japanese championship, he's not proven. Obviously, in the Japanese championship, he's maybe doing all right, but he's not proven. You're getting rid of Lorenzo Dalla Porta, like you said, Moto3 champion. Something's gone on there.
Yeah,
Something's happened.
something wrong.
Has to be. Something has to be going on.
God, we killed a lot of time then, didn't we? While I was trying to find
Yeah,
out
it's
his
all right.
replacement. What an anticlimax!
Right. So
Should we get on to
Tiger
silly
Harder.
season?
Let's talk about silly season. I've been looking forward to silly season. Most of this is just bollocks. Hopefully it'll. Right. So
I think we should have a jingle for silly season. Try and find a jingle.
silly season. It's silly season. Silly season. What are you? I'm trying to make something up, and you're just doing like some fucking circus tune.
Yeah, silly season.
I think it should be the music from when Bulk and Skull come in on Power Rangers.
Oh God, I've never seen it.
Do-do-do-do.
Why are you
I
so
don't
obsessed with Power
Do-do-do-do.
Rangers?
Me and my mate, whenever we were drunk, we used to play this game where we'd set a table up, and he would hide below it, and then every now and again pop up, and he would go do 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 do, and whilst he was doing that, I'd stand at the other end of the room with a toilet roll, and whenever he'd pop his head up, I would just throw toilet roll, and I would usually bounce it off the table and try and hit him in the head just as he popped up. And then sometimes when he wasn't looking, I'd swap the toilet roll for something else, and I'd just throw stuff at him.
And then you touch each other.
These were like late night. These were late night parties about 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. You can imagine what sort of state we were in.
Yes.
Bottle of Buckfast later and started throwing shit at each other.
I'll never forget. On a night out, we went back to my mate's house. His dad was out drinking with us, and he, as we walked in, he got in before us, and there was 2 Nerf guns waiting at the door. So as we went in, we were like, "Well." Just picked him up, and then we walked in. His dad was nailing us with a Nerf gun, so we started firing back. And we were on a full-on Nerf war at about 4 in the morning, pissed up, and he ran out of bullets. So next thing you know, I'm getting 2-litre bottles of tonic water flying out of the kitchen doors, aiming straight for heads. He put a load of holes in the freaking plasterboard. Absolutely nuts.
I like drunken necks.
Well, look, what about that night we were at Jace's Halloween party, me and you, Sam? There was loads of us, and we got drunk and started slapping each other.
Yeah, that was me started that.
Yeah, until you then gouged me in the eye.
I usually wherever I go, we end up slapping each other in the face. It's kind of like a thing where I'm from, where we get drunk and start slapping each other. The first time my wife came back to Northern Ireland, we were out the back garden and the rain was falling, and me and all my mates were out there slapping the face of each other, and she was getting a bit worried, and my sister turned round to her and was like, "No, that's always happened. It's just fine, don't worry about it. We just slapping the face of each other." I did it once at a party at work, and I spoke to a guy a few weeks later, and he says, "I was seconds from ringing the police before I realised you were just knocking the fuck at each other for no reason." I was like, "Yeah, it's just what we do." Anyway, will we talk silly season?
Yeah.
Silly season.
I thought you were researching something.
I
there,
was
Jack.
as well.
I thought you were looking for something.
No, I was just looking for this.
Right. So before we go on to before we start talking silly season, can I talk a little bit about the Marc Marquez rumor that he might be going to KTM?
Yeah.
So I found this a couple of weeks ago. It was on social media, so fuck knows how authentic it is, but I've put it on here. So Barrier, I don't know if that's his name. Pit Byra, the director of KTM Motorsport, denies rumours of Marc Marquez being with KTM in 2024. He says, right now, I felt like I should put on an accent, but I don't know where he's from. Well, right now, anyway, right now we have 4 very strong MotoGP riders under contract. So kudos to us that people are talking about the possibility of Marc Marquez joining KTM. Red Bull is not a problem for us. Marc Marquez is out of the question for KTM, because if he wins, it's because it's Marc Marquez, but if he loses, it's because it's the bike. So it's a lose-lose situation for KTM. So that's what he said. He also added, well, I'm not going to it. Basically, he said Marc Marquez gets 15-20 million a year, and KTM can't pay that, whereas Honda can.
Yeah.
So he's basically just come out and said, realistically, he's not coming to KTM.
Well, I think KTM,
but of course
KTM
he would say
are doing good enough anyway with what they're doing. They should keep doing what they're doing, and they'll be fine.
And they'd be better off going with Pedro Costa if they're going to
Absolutely.
get another rider.
He needs to go to KTM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he would be. Right, so we mentioned it before earlier. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, everything that we've got on this list is basically what we've picked up over the weekend or over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. And by all means, if anybody has any other sort of silly season nonsense that they want to throw in, just send us an email. Like Harvey, if you've got anything, or Big Daza, if you've got anything, or anybody else that's listening, if you want to send us an email and get in touch and just let us know any rumours you've heard. Or just make shit up. That's what rumours are. I heard this.
Yeah.
I heard Marc Marquez is going to ride the TT next year. That's what I heard. Somebody said that it would absolutely mince Michael Dunlop round the TT.
He wouldn't dare.
Right. So, we've already discussed 15th of July. Scott Redden has got a decision to make whether he wants to stay at BMW or not. Don't know if that means it's in his hands or if it's not in his hands. Obviously, he can extend for a year. We know that Top Rack's going to BMW. It just leaves that for question. So, anyway, there's a rider that's going to be available. BMW can't have 3 riders. They're going to have 2. So, are they going to keep Scott Redden? Is he going to stay? Are they going to keep Vandermark?
I think given the choice, they keep him, but I don't know if Scott Redden would want to stay.
But where's he going to go if he doesn't?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What options are open to him?
Moto2. Go back to Moto2 and try it again.
No, I think either go back to BSB or retire.
He's too young to retire.
How old? No, I think he's what, 35, is he?
Is he that old?
But test rider.
That's the thing with British riders. British riders take so long to get up to speed, whereas Italian riders, Spanish riders, they're winning championships by the time they come out.
Oh God, he's younger than me.
Yeah, he's not that old. He's like 26,
He's only
27 then.
30 is.
30. You think of the riders that are 30.
him.
He's 30. Sam Lowes is 30. Marc Marquez is 30.
I worry though that he's going to end up going backwards. He's going to go to Prochetti.
He won't
Kawasaki,
go there.
Where can he go?
He's not going to go
Where
to
can he go?
Prochetti.
Somewhere like that.
Yamaha. He could maybe go to Yamaha. Scott Redden could go to Yamaha, but would they take him?
I don't think
they would.
Where's he going to go? He was in MotoGP. You would think MotoGP is the pinnacle. That's where you want to be. If you can't do MotoGP, go to Superbikes. You want to Superbikes. You went on to arguably a championship-winning bike on the Ducati. And let's be honest, he threw it down the road a few times, so it wasn't all.
I've just had a thought. You see, I'm not going to say it, but you see number 6 on our list, maybe being the teammate in that team potentially.
Is that a rumour? Have you heard? We'll come to that in a minute, right? So that's possible.
That was mentioned on the World Superbikes this weekend.
All right.
Right, so we got Scott Redden floating around and Vandermark.
Yes.
We got Scott Redden. We got Vandermark. There's only one bike. Both of them might end up going somewhere else. Who knows? But yeah. So, what else have we got down here?
Alex Lowe's to Honda, swapping seats with Xavi Vierge.
So Xavi Vierge
No. In
oh no, sorry. I seen Alex and I was thinking Alex.
You haven't just done an
Yeah, he's just done a me.
No, I was thinking Alex Marquez, to be honest. You said Alex Lowe's and I had Alex Marquez in my head and I was thinking, why would he go Why would he go to World Superbikes? All right, anyway. So
Yeah.
Alex Lowe's to Honda swapping.
I think that'd be good
Is
for
that-
Alex Lowe's.
I think he should stay
No,
where he is.
because
No, because he's
not-
always going to
he's-
be in Johnny Ray's shadow.
no, but what are you going to do in the Honda? The Honda is shit.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but the
it's not so good
Kawasaki's
on
not
there.
exactly amazing this year, is it?
No, it's
It's
not.
not,
no.
but it's better than
And
the
like you
Honda.
say, if he's, but it's like he says, if he stays in Kawasaki, he's always going to be Johnny Ray's shadow. He's always going to be there.
Yeah.
Even if it does marginally better than Johnny Ray's still going to be the big, like he's going to be the pillar of Kawasaki because he's 6
Yeah.
times champion. So I get what you mean. But Honda, really, that comes down to where else can you go? He's been in a Yamaha. He's tried it. He's been on a Kawasaki. He's going to go to Honda, and then he's going to go to British Superbikes. That's what's going to
No,
happen.
I can't see him. Nah, I think he'd be better at Kawasaki.
I
but
think he
it's
should go
like-
to Honda.
It's like Chip Hat was saying. It's maybe not about race results for him because he's not getting the results at Kawasaki anyway.
Yeah, but who's
So
who's
it's
then
about
going to jump
being-
on the Kawasaki?
Well, we've got some names further down the list.
Right. So we've got, where's Xavi Fierge going to go then?
To Honda. Sorry, to Kawasaki. Swap him with Alex Lowe's.
I'll just swap him with Alex Lowe's.
That was the rumour.
I don't know about that.
But I don't even know if Xavi Vierge's the best Honda rider. Is Lecuona better?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
No, I genuinely think he is. Yeah.
So why would they
Why
go
would-
with Vierge over...
Xavi Fierge just on a Kawasaki at the minute just doesn't sound.
No.
It doesn't feel.
Lecuona on the Kawasaki. Get on, son.
No, that doesn't do it for me either.
Oh, it
no.
doesn't for me.
It's like Rinaldi on a Ducati. It's just not... You don't think that's where he really belongs.
Right, number 2, I get this one. I agree with this one. Well, say I agree with it. I can see this one happen. Dominic Agata promoted to factory Yamaha. I can see that. He's a bloody good rider,
Yeah.
Dominic Agata. 2-time Supersport champion. Some sort of Moto E champion or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Not saying bullshit, but it's Moto E. He's got 2 Supersport championships. He's obviously a talented rider, and he was doing all right this weekend. You know what I mean? He's a decent rider. Put him in a decent bike.
But then, just to play devil's advocate, with Remy Gardner as teammate, Moto2 champion, MotoGP rider, do you reckon they could maybe think whoever finishes higher out them gets the ride? Or,
I like Remy
I
Gardner.
don't know. I like him as well. So I don't know who you go for out those two to promote them to factory Yamaha.
I like Remy Gardner as well, and I think the paddock likes Remy Gardner because of his name.
Yes.
I think
just gonna-
just
Quickly
you know,
change
just
that round.
I was thinking, why don't we talk about that one next? I was actually going
Yes,
to say number.
I think it makes more sense.
So keeping on with Yamaha, we've got Dominic Agata or Remy Gardner who might go to Yamaha, but we've got Dominic Agata. I think Dominic Agata would be the better choice.
I mean, are we going to agree that Locatelli's probably going to stay? Because you can't see him getting rid of him.
What, for Yamaha?
Yeah, for the factory Yamaha, he's going to
Did they
stay
not-
there, isn't he?
Have they not already said that they're keeping him? Have they not already come out and said that?
They might have done. I don't know.
He's good as
I think they said
Locatelli,
it
and he
on-
always gets
I think when
results.
Yeah.
I think when I was watching Superbikes, they were talking about silly season a little bit, and I think one of them mentioned that they've already come out and said they're going to keep Locatelli.
Yeah.
So I think
He
he's pretty
deserves
safe,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty safe. Well, let's be honest, he's the best of the rest, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because he's usually coming fourth. Or he didn't have a great weekend this weekend, right?
No, but he's usually very consistent, so I can't see him going anywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one we got here is another Yamaha link. Morbidelli linked with Yamaha Superbikes.
Yeah. That's
So
who
you
we
got
thought
Franco-
the other day, wasn't it?
So you got Franco Morbidelli leaving MotoGP Yamaha factory team and going to British or World Superbikes Yamaha factory team, which I think would be a decent move.
But I don't think Morbidelli will want to do it.
I
But
don't think he's
it
got
might
much
not-
choice.
It might not be up to
Maybe
Morbidelli.
not,
They don't
yeah.
always have a choice. The worst one I ever seen who didn't have a choice was Marco Melandri because he was doing well in World Superbikes and they sent him to MotoGP and he fucking hated it and he hated being in MotoGP. because he wasn't competitive enough, and he could have won a championship as a World Superbike rider. And then they sent him back to World Supers, but that time he didn't give a fuck. Yeah, so Franco Morbidelli linked with Yamaha and World Superbikes. I think
I
that's
could
tasty.
see that. Yeah, I could
That's
see
tasty.
that.
That sounds good, because I don't want to speak bad about Batista. The guy's amazing, but in MotoGP he was fairly mediocre.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He wasn't given the right bike at the time. He wasn't exactly given a factory ride, so he's got that argument. That's why I think if he went to MotoGP in a factory ride, he could maybe show a few people wrong. But anyway, back to Morbidelli. He got a factory ride for a reason. Decent rider. Put him on a Yamaha, swap him with Top Rack, maybe win a race, up yours to Top Rack, say, I'm better than you. That's why you didn't get a fucking MotoGP ride, because you're shy. It's obviously not, he's an amazing rider. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the way Yamaha might be looking at it. Send Morbidelli there, actually won a race.
Yeah,
And be like,
because I mean,
there you
he
go,
finished runner-up in, I can't remember which year it was.
2020.
2020, he finished runner-up in the
I think it was
MotoGP
2020,
Championship, and he still shows little glimpses here and there that he is a good rider.
And let's be honest, the MotoGP Yamaha M1 is shot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not good
It's
at all at the
nowhere,
moment.
it's nowhere near a championship winning
No.
bike. Like, not I say even Quartararo's in trouble in that.
No.
Like, come on. So he's not exactly good. He's not exactly got the engine under him to set the world alight, does he? So go
Yeah.
to World Superbikes. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't really agree with this next one though.
No, I don't at all.
No.
Bassini to Honda?
No.
Fuck off.
Bassani.
Bassini to Ducati, I could see. It's not Bassini anyway. It's
Bassani,
Bassani. Please
oh.
stop saying Bassini.
Bassani.
You made me
yeah.
say it.
Even made you say it, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Bassani to Honda. Where are you getting this from? Did you just make this one up?
No, that was on the weekend as well.
I
they
can't
mentioned
see that happening at all.
I still think they might put Bassani onto the factory Ducati
That's
bike.
what I thought. But then I think they said...
But then where does Ronaldo go?
Honda.
Well, this is the thing, I might be making this up. But I think they said something like Bassani's getting sick of not getting his chance at Ducati.
All
So
right.
he
Also,
might be. That
I'm
might
going
be
to
the
take
reason
6
why.
steps back and go to Honda.
Well, Top Rack.
Yeah.
He's,
Yeah, we talked about that. We know what he's doing.
yeah.
He's just threw the toys out the pram. But if Bassani goes to Honda, he's doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Be
He's
stupid.
doing
I think
exactly
he
the
should
same thing.
either stay where he is or push for the
don't think he should
factory
stay
ride.
where he is. He's still getting results.
He has to just go out and no crash into Ronaldo. That's what he has to do.
Stop scrapping.
Just go out and yeah. Right, this next one you've just basically it's basically he just threw paint at a wall and expected a colour to come up. It's like DG Gian Antonio speaking to Yamaha, Ducati, Kawasaki, Honda, BMW.
No,
He's
right,
speaking
no,
to
no,
every
no.
motherfucker. That's right.
He's speaking to Yamaha, Ducati and Kawasaki for next year.
Yes.
Well, that's not much of a rumour.
Well,
What bike's he on already?
He's on the Ducati, Grassini Ducati in MotoGP, but he's not
And
performing.
is this World Superbikes or is this...
This is World Superbikes.
Because he's not at a level in MotoGP where he can
No,
just speak to anybody and go
No.
wherever he
No.
wants.
He's the worst Ducati rider in that paddock.
Yeah. What when you say speaking to Ducati, factory or satellite World Superbike team?
I can't see him
I don't
going
know.
factory.
No, probably not factory. Maybe Bassani
you think-
seat. You never know.
I could see him replacing Alex Lowe's if Alex Lowe's, but you say Xavi Fierge is going to go on to Kawasaki, but I could see DG Antonio going on to that Kawasaki.
Possibly.
Possibly.
I didn't make this rumor. This is just what I
Yes.
heard.
He say he is speaking to Kawasaki, or there's so many riders just going everywhere.
There's a lot of talent about now.
I think the one that excites me the most so far is Morbidelli going to the World Superbike
Yeah.
Yamaha team. I think that's
Yeah.
good. That excites me because I think he could go in there and do decent. He's
Yeah.
got he would have a decent he's got a decent bike. He's got a podium bike. He's got a podium sitting bike if he goes to that Yamaha. He's got a bike that can sit in the podium.
Yes. But the last one is the one that's getting me quite excited. The last one.
Is this so this one's pretty much been confirmed. It's been mentioned on the show on World Superbikes. It's like, or is this still a rumour?
This is what was meant. This is a rumour mentioned at the weekend.
Right. Do you want to go for it? You're the one that heard it.
Okay.
I watched the World Superbikes. I never heard this, or I'd get very excited.
So Mark VDS and Sam Lowes speaking with Yamaha and Ducati for next year in World Superbikes.
I hope it's a Ducati.
I don't really mind who it's with. I mean, Ducati, you'd probably think, yeah.
So that'll be the Lowes brothers in the same.
Imagine
the
that.
same thing. Is it in the same race?
But surely they'll have, if they have two riders, that Mark VDS team, and they imagine if they went for Alex Lowes as well.
It'd be cool to get them together, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
In the same, under the same thing.
That'd be a rivalry. That.
Yeah, it would. Wouldn't it?
I'm not sure if that would work. I'm not sure if it would work having two twin brothers.
I mean, look
at
Mark and Alex Marquez. That didn't work, did it? I mean, I know it was to do with the bikes, but
no, I don't think that would work. But Mark VDS. How long did this is like going on a massive tangent. Whenever Scott Redden nearly won his Moto2 championship before he moved to MotoGP, was he not riding a Mark VDS bike?
Yeah. Mark VDS 2010 to 2013.
Yeah, and that's the year that's whenever he nearly won the championship. So if Mark VDS comes into World Superbikes and Scott Redden needs a ride.
Yes. He also raced with them in 2015 on the in MotoGP as well.
So does it not stand to a little bit? Does it not stand to a little bit of reason that Mark VDS comes over, Scott Redden needs a ride, he gets on a Ducati or a Yamaha with Mark VDS with Sam Lowes. There's a British team.
No, that'd be a team
cool.
I'd be supporting.
that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
That's cool. I like this.
Can we do silly season every week?
I like the Mark VDS livery as well. So this is it. Next year, Mark VDS Ducati is coming over. Sam Lowes, Scott Redden, Bosch. Yes.
I'm already getting a Mark VDS hoodie.
Yeah, I've got mine ordered. Got mine in the post. Ash has bought 3.
Oh dear.
Yeah, let's do this next week as well. Let's do more silly season, even sillier season.
We'll just start making stuff up of stuff that we want to happen.
You've already made stuff up. Half of this is just bullshit. You just made up.
Michael Dunlop and Joey. I was going to say Johnny Ray.
That's it.
Jolly Ray.
Johnny Ray and Michael Dunlop on Ducati. I don't know. We'll just make stuff up.
You put a question in there, Chippy.
Right.
I have. This is a question I thought this morning in the shower. Weirdly, I wasn't thinking.
Oh,
of
when you were having your hour and a half shower.
It's because I spend so long in the shower. I've got a lot of time to think. Anyway, this question came into my head. Do you think British Superbike bikes should have electronics similar to World Superbike bikes, so it sets British riders up better for the world stage? So Brad Ray, if he had had for the last few years electronics similar to World Superbikes, would he have settled in possibly quicker and better when he moved up?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know.
I don't really know the ins and outs on the electronics, so
I know it's like a massive difference. So when they move up, that is like the biggest challenge that they have is the
is
electronics.
that to do with like the computer and stuff like that then? Like
yeah, I think so.
How-
I don't
how
know
are
the
the
ins
I
and
think
outs of it, but
I think a lot of it's to do with like engine mapping, because you can change engine mapping throughout the race, so you can go from one to another.
Yeah.
And it's trying to get used to that, and it's trying to know, like sometimes listening to other podcasts and stuff, it's trying to know when you have to put your faith and trust in the electronics in the bike, and when you know the electronics are going to do the work for you rather than you battling with it.
yes.
I guess I guess it comes down to affordability, because the thing about British Superbikes, one of the reasons why you like it, Chippy, is because you've said this before, it's dads and lads and their van.
That's true.
Who can pull up at the side. They can obviously they're putting a lot of finances into it. They can pull up at the track on a Friday, Thursday morning, wherever. They can get their bike out. They spent all week working on it. They spent all their wages on it. They're eating bread butties because that's all they got to eat to get that bike out there. If you start putting in electronics, it comes down to who's got the biggest pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have FHO is absolutely going to kill it, or Beer Monster Ducati. And at the minute, I know they're the guys that's winning it, but at least other people have a chance. So I would say that's a big reason as to why electronics isn't a part of it. Plus, if you crash in race one and your bike goes flying up the road and you're a single mechanic looking after a dad and a son team, and you're there trying to fix a bike, and you're like, I just haven't got what it takes, financially or to fix the electronics in this bike. So I'd say that's a big reason as to why there's no electronics in British Superbikes.
Yeah. Probably right there.
I don't know if that's true.
I am so...
And then I don't know about other...
Oh, go on.
I don't know about other championships. Like if you talk about the Australian Superbikes or the American Superbikes or even the Italian Superbikes or whatever, are they allowed electronics in their bikes? So whenever they step into World Superbikes, do they have an advantage? I'm not sure. Right. So we're pretty much
done, but I'm so looking forward to going to Knock Hill, by the way. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am as well.
Well,
I finished my 84-hour weeks.
It's not even this weekend.
I know it's not. I messed up there. It's because I'm excited about it.
Get excited.
But I cannot wait.
I can imagine how excited you get if you're a child.
He is a massive child.
You are a big ass child. I'm a big ass kid. That's what you are.
So, at least I'm sort of happy.
Yeah. Oh. Do you know what happened to me the other night? So I've said I've went 2 or 3 nights without drinking. I went to bed the other night and I just lay there and I was awake and I could not get to sleep. So I came downstairs and I played some more Star Wars on the Xbox. And I was just depressed. I was thinking, God, it's so bad. I can't even sleep without drinking alcohol. I am an alcoholic. I can't even get to sleep without drinking alcohol anymore. It's just like, God, I've got to do something about this.
Well, I went out for a drink for the other night, on Friday night, and it's been a long time since I've gone out for a drink. And I sat there and I told myself I was only going to have soft drinks because I didn't want to drink. And I tried to drink like I used to. So I got a pint and that went down pretty quickly. I thought, oh, it wasn't too bad. Then I got another pint. That went down quickly. Then I got another pint, had that, and I was smashed. Smashed off 3 pints. I was trying to message you two, and I just couldn't type.
You can never type anyway. You can't spell.
We didn't know you were drunk. Just Except, the only reason we knew you weren't normal Ash is because you weren't putting the correct words after it with a little star. Ash does this thing where he writes a sentence or a paragraph and about 6 words are spelt wrong, and then he just puts little messages of the words spelt right with a star next to it.
That's because if I don't, you two will go, can't you'll put that stupid meme with the old bastard that's trying to read the freaking paper. That guy.
Yeah, but I know I make mistakes. I know I do, but I know how pedantic Chippy is, and he knows how pedantic I am. So if I am even slightly questionable, I just highlight the word and I look it up and I see what it means to make sure I've got the right word. I'd rather take an extra 2 seconds to make sure I've got the right word than have Chippy tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, having you two being so pedantic and bouncing off each other, it's hard work.
Yeah, but
it really is.
You mess up really simple words like aisle. When you say I'll go and get some, it's really annoying. ILE.
And it's not even annoying. If you use predictive text, it's more difficult to write ALE than it is to write ILL.
But I use predictive text and it comes out as that.
No, you don't. Type ILL.
Because mine doesn't do it.
Mine doesn't do it, and you've got an iPhone.
Look, I can't spell. Alright, just deal with it.
No, but your phone can't.
And the thing is, we've corrected you on this so
Don't
many times,
care.
and you still spell it
Don't
that way.
care.
It's 3 letters.
Does it affect your life? Does it?
What annoys me every time I see it.
It annoys me when I see your face.
Yeah, but
I see it.
We're just trying to better you,
No.
young Ashley. That's it. We're just trying to get you to.
I've got this far through life without having to spell certain words.
Without being able to spell iron.
Oh well. I'm here. I'm breathing.
Right, anyway. What have we got to look forward to?
Knockhill
this week.
That's what we've got to look on.
No, that's
No,
next
that's
weekend.
the following weekend, you dumbass. It's not this weekend. It's the following weekend after. You've put it down here, BSB Knockhill, and it's obviously Chippy's put in. That's the week after. So this weekend we've got MotoGP Mugello, and they will be talking silly season. So we'll have more silly season next week as well. Next week on the pod we'll have more silly season because they're sure to be talking about it. And I'm going to throw it out here. I've been thinking about this 4 weeks now.
What, is this your prediction?
This is my prediction. I don't know if it's a race or if it's
Please
a
be
sprint.
Zarco.
No, I genuinely think this is the week Marquez might win a race. I genuinely do. He's had what 3-4 weeks testing or 3-4 weeks time. I think this might be the one. I think he might come out and win a race.
It's going to be Bagnaia.
But I still.
Oh, don't go with Bagnaia. I was going to go with
Right, all right. You go with Bagnaia then. I'm going to go with Marco Bezzecchi.
Okay.
Because
No,
I'm just
it's
thinking,
going to be an Italian. It's
on
going
a
to be an
Ducati.
Italian on a Ducati. It's going to be.
No. Bezzecchi's number one trait, and the reason he's doing so well in the championship is because he's Mr. Consistent. He just doesn't come off a lot. So when everybody else is failing and falling off, he's always there, Mr. Consistent. So I don't think he'll win the race.
Well, I reckon it will be Bagnaia really, but obviously Chippy wanted to pick him. But it's going to be an Italian
And I think
on
Bagnaia,
a Ducati.
has something to prove because he always has to feel he's got something to prove, and it might get to his head, and he might come off again.
I think he's having it. I think he's having all three, 2 even.
Something that I think we can all agree on, though, is Joan Mir's not going to finish.
Joan Mir will not finish the race. No, I hope he does. I hope he does finish the race.
I do as well. I feel bad for him.
He's having such a bad season.
He really is. And
Just finish the race. Just get to, even if he finished 20th, just finish the race. Just get to the end of the race. That would be nice to see.
I hate talking about Quartararo
He's
as well
having
because
such
I
a
feel
bad
sorry
season.
for him.
He talked
Although
about silly
Marquez
season.
is going to be there. Okay, no, I don't
Yeah,
think Marquez will win it.
I think he will. I think he won the sprint race. I do.
No, I don't think he'll win it.
It's going to be Ducati because that long straight
Yeah.
to the finish line.
All right then.
Ducati. Just
You
on
want
that
Zarco.
straight.
Johan Zarco. Say the line, Sam.
Sprint race will
No,
be
do you know
Brad
who we
Binder
not? Do you know?
on the sprint.
No, do you know who we've not mentioned? Jorge Martin.
Yeah,
Ducati.
he's very good actually.
Ducati fast. Jorge Martin.
Binder's having a sprint race.
Honestly,
telling you.
I'm not saying Bagnaia because I wouldn't be surprised if Bagnaia fucks it up, and I don't want to jinx him, and I don't want to be like, oh, I told you so, because I like Bagnaia, but I just think he might bottle it.
Well, the thing is, I'm just looking at last year's results. So, Bagnaia won last year, then it was Quartararo, and then Aleix Espargaro. So you can see Quartararo obviously not finishing that high. Aleix Espargaro probably not that high. Bagnaia falling off. Fourth was Zarco. Zarco could win.
Nah, not having it. Nah, it's going to be an Italian.
Could see a flipping Frenchman.
It could be anybody, let's be honest. Jorge Martin finished 13th last time. He was pretty bad there.
What bike was he on?
Anyway, what about... same bike. What about Moto 2?
Pedro Costa.
Sam Lowe's.
I wanted to go
I think
Pedro Costa.
I think Sam Lowe's has got a decent chance in these Italian rounds because he likes it.
Yeah, but he needs to stay on the bike.
Yeah.
I know, but he was so unlucky last time.
Well, I know, we know he was because he was obviously the crazy pitting. No, I think it'll be Pedro.
Actually, I'm going to go with Tony Arbolino.
Oh
'cause
yeah, he's very
Italian.
good. Yeah, he's very good actually in the Arbolino.
Yeah.
I do like him.
In fact, I might just go for an Italian in each each class.
No, I'm off Sasaki for Moto3.
Who are you going for in Moto 2, Sam? You say Sam Lowe?
Sam Lowe's. I genuinely think Sam Lowe's can do well. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Mino in Moto 3.
I'm going Sasaki. He's
I
going to
like to
win.
go for Mino.
Sasaki's going to freaking win it. He keeps coming off. He's up there in like first and second, then he just pins it. But he's going to win one.
What about Anna Carrasco?
Oh, shut up. Freaking Anna Carrasco.
Well,
She was terrible there last year. Josh Watley finished 41 seconds behind the leader. She was like another 30 seconds behind him. That is so bad.
It is what it is.
I hope Scott Ogden can put in a performance in the Moto 3.
Yeah, I think he needs it, doesn't he?
Did you say David? Did you go David Munoz?
No, I went Andrea Mino.
Andrea Migno.
I'm going to go Italians for each class.
I'm going to say David Migno. I can never know if I'm pronouncing his name right.
I think it's Munoz.
Munoz.
I'll tell you what
I'm gonna
though,
go for him.
Mugello
Or-
is...
Or Dennis Onchu. Oh, Dennis Onchu, that's right.
Yes.
Right.
But Mugello is one track I'd love to visit.
Yeah, because then you can go get some pizza after.
I'd like to go to Le Mans. They were talking about it in Paddock Podcast. You can pay €100 for Le Mans, and you get free camping as well as your ticket. But apparently the camping gets a little spicy, so you have to be ready for a rorgus time if you're going to stay camping there. But €100 and you get there all weekend.
Well,
free,
Sam,
bikes,
get
free
your tests passed and get on a bigger bike, and we'll go on a tour to Le Mans.
Why can I not go on my 125?
Because it's shite. Sorry. Probably ain't gonna get there. Go pass the test. Sort your life out.
Yeah, I'm doing it this year.
Yeah, you said that last year.
I was just quickly looking at the results from the World Super Sport. But anyway, we've covered that. Bulliga won, race 1, Manzi got second, and Carcasulo got third, and then race 2, Manzi got first, Bulliga came second, and Marcus Schotter got third. There you go. Yeah, so as well as the MotoGP to look forward to next week, we will also have the rest of the TT to watch this coming few days. And this time next week we will know if Michael Dunlop is going to break that elusive record of 26
Hope
and
so.
make it 26,
I
or
hope
whether
so.
he will get to it or break it. I genuinely believe he can reach 27 this year. I don't think he can reach 28 because I think Peter Hickman's got the better of him on the super stock, and then it's the week following that you'll have the British Superbikes to look forward to. But oh, excuse me, still a little bit of time to wait before you can grace the sights of British Superbikes live. Oh, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'll try and make my excuses and not go to work and just sit and watch motorbikes all day. I can't wait. But tomorrow, I'm really happy because the first race is the sidecars.
I like the sidecars. I know you two don't like them, but I think the sidecars are really, really cool. I
They're good
like
to watch
watching them.
for the first 5
No,
minutes.
I like watching them. And I tell you what, you have to have bigger bollocks to ride a sidecar than you do a bike on that track.
You enjoy sidecars so much that you didn't even mention them once in this show until I mentioned them there now.
Right.
That's how much you enjoyed them. You didn't even bring it up. We were talking about the TT.
Yeah,
you didn't even
because
mention
if I brought up
sidecars.
sidecars, you go, yeah, sidecar's shit.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly,
We would,
so
they're
what's the
fucking
point?
shite, but you still.
No, I
Still
enjoy
could've
the
brought it up.
sidecars. You've got to have bigger bollocks to do the sidecars than you do the bikes. Because you've got to 100%
that's-
trust that person who is riding with you.
That's your opinion.
Because if you don't trust that person you're riding with, nah.
My daughter said that to me the other day, or was it today? She was in the bath and I was trying to rinse her hair. And she was like, "That water's really hot," and I put my hand on it. And I was like, "It's not that hot." She goes, "It's hot," and I was like, "It's not that hot." And she looked at me. She goes, "That's your opinion." I was like, okay. Even she thinks. Even I know her. I know everybody in my house. Just the way I am. Just the way I am. And as soon as I find out I annoy somebody, I just keep screwing the nut. I'm like, yes. Right, I think we have talked the legs off a stool. That's a saying where I'm from. I don't know if you use that saying in England. Talk the legs off a stool.
No, that's the first time I've heard that.
Well, usually, or we would call it a ganch. They're a ganch. Do you know? Never hear that? No.
No.
You're rolling your eyes, and some of the fucking shite you come out with from Yorkshire. Jesus, you're rolling your eyes at me because calling somebody a ganch. A ganch means somebody that'll just no shut up. He's a ganch. Tuck legs off a stool.
Sam's a ganch.
I am a ganch. It's okay when I call myself a ganch, but when you do it,
Fucking ganch.
Anyway, we've come to the end of the show, so I just. Wow, do you want to? You can hear that. Do you want to run us through the socials there, Ashley?
Yeah, I can do. So if you would like to email us, you can at podcast at bigbadbs.co.uk. We are also on YouTube, the Big Bad Bike Show. Twitter is the Big Bad BS, all one word. Our Instagram is going to be changing soon, so I'm not going to read that one out. And Facebook is the Big Bad Bike Show. I will say that the most popular one, though, is our Facebook group, which is just the Big Bad BS. That's the one we sort of have most activity on. You can also follow us and speak to us on our other socials. So Sam's Twitter is at SoberCasano. My Instagram is the Up North Biker. And Chippy's Twitter is at C_Ballard90.
That still needs to change.
It really does.
I've got
But we haven't had
question.
any suggestions.
Whenever you put stuff on Facebook, you just put it onto the group, the Big Bad BS. Why do you not put it onto the Big Bad Bike Show page? Because once you put it on the Big Bad Bike Show page, you can put it. It can go directly onto the Big Bad BS.
Well, I didn't know that. No, I do. There you go.
So I'll give you the email address and you can get the logon details for the Facebook, and then that way, because basically you can cross-share posts. So if you put something in the Big Bad Bike Show, it cross-shares posts straight onto the Big Bad BS.
Groovy, baby.
And that way I don't have to. Yeah, baby. So that's all we really got. We don't really have anything else. Well, I say we don't really have anything else to talk about, but like I said, like Ash has already alluded to, I am a ganch and I could talk all night, but I had to go to bed, stop talking shite. Pretty sure I was going to say my wife wants me to go to bed, but that's not true. Yeah, I have drank a coffee to stay up tonight, so I am going to be awake.
And he's still ganching.
Still trying to think of a way to end the show. I'm trying to think of like a thing to say that I could end the show.
I'll finish it off. So, thank you for listening to the Big Bad Bike Show. It's goodbye from us. See you later, Chippy.
Goodbye.
See you later, Sam.
Goodbye.
And see you later from me. All the best.